Right, quick lowdown on the GT6 and the Bonnet. Bought it for my 40th, which is going to be 6 years ago next week. Now, in that time, I've done quite a lot of work on the car. The car is running. However, this bonnet has been the bane of my life. When I picked the car up, the bonnet and the car had been sat in a shed with a leak in the roof. Because of that, the bonnet ended up getting rust on it and it needed to be resprayed. I spoke to a local respray company in Glasgow and they assured me they could match the colour. Now, when I got the bonnet back from that company, it was a completely different red to the rest of the car. On top of that, the spray work was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And right then I told myself, I can do a better job. I have no idea how to spray, but this bonnet has led me to build that spray booth, and now we're at the point where I'm gonna figure out if I can actually do this. So in this video, we're gonna figure out how to fix the metalwork, do the blocking, the sanding, the filling, and hopefully get it sprayed. So the first thing I've done is just put the frame back on the car. Because this had all that heat through it from the laser cutting, I just want to triple check that the bonnet sits on the car like it should do. And once I know that, I can crack on with doing that little bit of filling. I'm pretty happy with the metal work we've done, but I just want to make sure the car is going to go back together once we've sprayed it. So there are two places on the bonnet which basically have split, and that's because the bonnet is pushed out a little bit. Let me show you. Here, and the same place on the other side, what's happened is that wing is just pushing out and it's split right on that edge, and that means we're losing all that strength that should pull that together. So what I'm going to do is sand all this back, get it back to bare metal, and then just go in with my welder on the lowest setting possible because I'm not sure how good this metal is. Start with the lowest setting. If we need a bit more, we'll put a bit more heat through, and hopefully we'll get that fixed, and then we can carry on working through the rest of the bonnet. One thing I kind of decided to leave when I was getting this prepped is the filler that's thicker through this edge just here. Now, on a standard GT6 bonnet, you would naturally have a seam line that ran along here, and what the previous owner has done with this is de-seam it, which I really like the look of. It's going to mean I'm going to need to put more filler back onto that section, and I figured this stuff's been flexing and working for 30, 40 years. So we've kept some of that on just to give us a bottom build up, and then we can add more to that when we get the proper, newer, more technological filler when it arrives. Now, at a later date, another thing that I want to kind of tackle are the lower sills. For some reason, and this is why sometimes you need a classic car for a while, because I've looked at this for years and I could not figure out why this door isn't closing properly. And it's for two reasons. One, the door skin hasn't been put on properly, so we'll need to adjust that. But secondly, our lower sill has basically, it starts flat on this side and then it bends in on the back. And what we're going to need to do is cut through the sill here and lift out the metalwork on both sides so it sits correctly. And this is on both sides of the car. Now, do I like how that's been done? Absolutely not. Do I want to change it straight away? Yes. Do I need to? No, I don't. I can leave that for now, and then over the winter, once we've had a chance to maybe enjoy this car in August, is pull those sills apart and just do a bit more body work on the bottom end to make sure everything lines up correctly and we get nice door panels and closing edges. Yeah, all of this is just nasty, and I think a half a day of getting this off, just giving it a good clean wire brush, get it back, we could end up with something that looks a lot more presentable. There's obviously a million other things to do on the car, but as we're focusing on paintwork and that bonnet is going to be getting sprayed anyway, why not tackle a few of these issues at the same time? So I'm about halfway through cleaning up the, what's it called? Firewall on the GT6, and as I've been going through that, I've noticed there's a couple of little areas that I need to weld up, but as well as that, we've got the brake and clutch pedal actually come off with 6 or 7 bolts. The inside footwells are horrendous, so I figure whilst I'm here, get that out, get it refurbed, get it painted. It means I've got a clean area inside the car to kind of scuff up, get ready for paint, and all of that can get done. And it's just going to lift this so much. So I have just pulled my pedals. At the moment, I've got the clutch and the brake out. Now, the cool thing about these old cars is it's just so easy to demystify how a car works. It's literally on this, cables, pedals. These are not looking in the best condition at the moment. They're pretty crusty. So all I'm going to do is put them through my blaster and give them a good clean. I don't need them perfect, but I do need all of the rust off of it. I'll probably get a bit of rust converter on there as well. And again, taking these apart is so simple. You just need standard tools, get these apart, give them a condition, probably order a couple more rubber feet. I'm missing one here. And getting these back on and having this floor space painted red, I think is going to make a massive difference to the interior. While we're on the interior, there's 2 things I want to do. One is pull the gearbox tunnel out, which is, I think it's fiberglass, and what I have is a carbon fiber skinning kit that I've had for probably 2 years now, never used. So I'm thinking carbon fiber skin the gearbox tunnel and the dash, and it will really start pulling that interior together, and we'll just have that mixture of real nice blacks and reds. Now, I used my shop blasting cabinet to just clear up the foot pedals. This is really good for removing all those tiny little bits of rust that you can't see. I think they came out pretty well. Just prepping parts to paint. Weirdly, not what I thought I'd be painting first in the booth, but nice to be justifying the last 5 weeks with actually, oh, I didn't want to do that, with actually getting some stuff painted. So we're just going to pop these in the back of the booth, get the extractor on, not close the door because it's a small job, and yeah, just get it done. But getting some panel wipe on here so we don't get any fish eyes, get as much of the contamination and cellulose off as possible. Obviously, if we were doing this on the car or the body, it would be quite an involved process, but hey, these are foot pegs. It's absolutely fine. This is so bad. I've just taken the seat out and I think I've cleaned this 3 or 4 times since I've had it, but this mold just keeps coming back and it is absolutely manky. So plan, remove all the carpet, clean up all the floor of the car and actually just paint it red. And then I'm going to remove that gearbox tunnel as well because that needs some love. But all of this, I think if we actually give it a coat of red, could look so much better than this. I'd rather have no carpet if, well, there's some holes in there, but we can figure that out. But yeah, I'd rather have no carpet and have it looking nice than this absolute mank fest. It feels really good to actually be getting through another project, and after the spray booth I feel like I'm on a roll. Getting the GT6 will be another thing off my mind and a car that I can enjoy for the rest of the summer, and who knows, even the winter. After that we're going to head on to the Mini and a few other projects I've got lined up. I feel like today started incredibly slowly, but it's gone in a direction I didn't really think I'd be going in. The bonnet was meant to be the thing that we did this week. Because we're waiting for that body filler, I've ended up doing a whole load of other stuff that I just wasn't going to touch. But now I've prepped part of the bulkhead and I've been having a really good go at getting that floor and interior cleaned up so we can spray it, which I think is going to look so much better. I think what I will do just before I go home is get a couple of photos and use AI to kind of envisage what I think the interior is going to look like for now. Tell me what you think. So I've got sick of working on that interior and I thought I'd just come and focus on this area very quickly. So bulkhead is 80% good, but there's a few things I need to fix, and one of them is the attachment for my clutch pedal. So it's rusted out a bit. Plan is drill out this upright support, find the spot welds, get that out. I can see all four of those, so fingers crossed that goes well. Pull that out, template up what we need to create the shape again for the bits that will be missing, and hopefully I've learned enough to do this in a oneer. I have removed one of the uprights and that's what we're looking at underneath. Now I just know that second upright is going to have stuff going on underneath it as well. I know that I'm going to feel so much better if I just take the second one off now. That literally took me 5 minutes. Get them both off, get them sanded down, get them rust proofed, get some paint on it, and it's just going to last me so much longer. And yeah, let's carry on future proofing this car with another job that I didn't realize I was going to be doing today. So here is part of the bulkhead that we've taken out, and it's nuts. You know, 3 or 4 years ago, I would have had no clue how to even remove that, and the amount of anxiety would have been giving me would have been through the roof. Now, no issues at all. Cut it out. I've gone bigger than I usually would have gone to make sure that I capture everything, and I'm feeling fairly confident that I can create the edges on this that I need to out of a bit of sheet metal. So that's the next step. Let's see if I've actually learned anything. So my idea is I've cut some flat bar and I'm using some double tape to place exactly where I need this to be on my piece of sheet metal. So we've got 2 on one side and the other bit is going to stick to the back. And the plan is, if I put this through a vise, it's going to bend that. This might not work, I've got absolutely zero idea. But if I stick that to the back, will I get the shape I want coming through? Be awesome to find out. And if it works, I'll definitely be using this idea again. So what I'm doing is, rather than smashing it all through at once, I'm going to just move up and down to try and achieve this press in the best way I can. And yeah, if you've got a classic car, I definitely recommend having a go a little bit of DIY fabrication. Now, yeah, you can go out and you can buy panels, but where is the fun in that? Finding a few blocks of steel, buying a sheet of metal and a set of hammers, and you too can have a go at bodging something up. After a while, you may even get to a point where you feel almost proud of your work. And there she is, welded in, and she's had some weld through primer sprayed on top, ready for these uprights to be welded in. This means that moving forwards, we don't have to worry about that rust that was hiding in those crevices between the panels. I've got to say, this is all incredibly satisfying. The inside of the GT6 is prepped. I've done all the welding and everything else that I need to on the firewall, and some of the auxiliary parts have also been sprayed. It's time to get some filler on that bonnet and start smoothing it off. Now, I know a lot of you will say more metal work, but This is the first time I'm going to be spraying, filling, and doing a whole load of other stuff that I've never done before. The metalwork isn't perfect, but for someone who's also never done that before and tried to iron out a lot of warping, I'm really happy with it. And the form is now solid. There's no oil canning, nothing like that is going on. So let's crack on and get this thing ready for paint. So I'm going to use something called U-Pole Fantastic Body Filler, which I used the old ChatGPT to do a bit of research, and this came through as the best product to use, very easy to sand. For now, I'm just going to lay down the filler and let that dry, and hopefully we can start moving towards a bonnet that doesn't look like it's been in a banger race. So yesterday I made some really dumb mistakes when it came to filling the body. Basically, I didn't use enough hardener, so it sat there for 40 minutes and nothing happened, and I realised it all needed to come off. So I scraped most of it off, and then I decided to use paint thinners to try and get the rest off without a mask. So I ended up with kind of, I guess, poisoning for 7 hours. I was wiped out in bed, feeling super, super rough. Anyway, I've come back in today. I have worn the proper mask, and I've now got the new filler on the bonnet. One thing they don't tell you about bodywork on car videos is how boring it is. The filler was something I worked on for probably 3 or 4 hours yesterday, and it's getting there, but this is just the first pass. After I've done this, there's even more to do. I've kind of got to a point where I feel like I might be sanding away too much of the filler because there's probably too many deviations between the high points and the low points. What I got was something called Dry Guide Coat, and it's in a black. And this should show me my high points. No, this should show me my low points once I've applied it and sanded it back. So I'm going to pop this on, and hopefully after I've done this, we're going to get kind of smaller, more isolated points that I need to fill in, which will be my second fill, and then we can carry on sanding. I think that's the way this works. I am absolutely shattered. I've been down here for 8 or 9 hours today, and all I've done is blocking on the bonnet, and it is just not enjoyable anymore. I've popped it in red primer, not because that's going to be a part of the final paint system, but I used the guide coat, which was good, but I wanted to get a uniform colour on it just to kind of see how it's lying. And I'm happy with the wing. I'm still not fully happy with the actual top of the bonnet, but I'm going home. I've just absolutely had enough now. I'm going to go home, eat, chill out, have a little think about this, and come back tomorrow and hopefully feel a little bit more invigorated and like I can carry on with that bonnet. It's the next day, and I have come back into the workshop to have a look at the bonnet. And honestly, I'm really, really happy with the way it's going. To think that we kind of started with this, and we've now ended up with this, I feel like that's major progress. As well as that, we took apart the bulkhead, we did welding, we've done fabricating, we've put everything back together, and that has been a huge transformation as well. Sometimes you're expecting those huge visual changes to happen all the time, and they don't, but they're gonna. I'm gonna keep on putting in the hours, putting in the work, and we will get there. For now, I'm gonna say goodnight, and I will catch you very, very soon. Bye, guys.